يا عم انا جوين يلا انا جوين. يلا انا جيمنج بقول لك ايوه. طيب
I got supplies. Get in the car. Marked an airdrop. Marked an airdrop. Marked an airdrop. We are number one. We are number one.
easy to say. Nothing, no nothing, nothing's getting in our way. No nothing, nothing, nothing's getting in our way. In every attack, I'll have your back as we're charging like bats out of hell. And we'll hold our ground and we won't back down till we're ringing that victory bell. Together we're a force that can't be taken. team, it'll only be too easy to say. Nothing, no nothing, nothing's getting in our way. No nothing, nothing, nothing's getting in our way. In every attack, I'll have your back as we're charging like bats out of hell. And we'll hold our ground and we won't back down till we're ringing that victory bell. Together we're a force that can't be tamed. And nothing's getting in our way.
You're gonna die, clown.
Broken spirit, disparity, balance bursting at the seams. Disillusion, disturbing outside. Maybe it's time we turn the tide. Fire and water combine, make steam. Wind and earth can make the strongest quake. The best of us becomes a team. It'll only be too easy to say. Nothing, no nothing, nothing's getting in our way. No nothing, nothing, nothing's getting in our way. In every attack, I'll have your back as we're charging like bats out of hell. And we'll hold our ground and we won't back down till we're ringing that victory bell. Together we're a force that can't be tamed. And nothing's getting in our way. Our hearts are screaming, beating for more. Dreaming up when nightmares were before. A synchronizing, cohesive machine. Together, no surrender, no defeat. Fire and water combine, make steam. Wind and earth can make the strongest quake. The best of us becomes a team. It'll only be too easy to say. Nothing, no nothing, nothing's getting in our way. No nothing, nothing, nothing's getting in our way. In every attack, I'll have your back as we're charging like bats out of hell. And we'll hold our ground and we won't back down till we're ringing that victory bell. Together we're a force that can't be tamed. And nothing
السلام عليكم.
I got supplies. Watch out. Give up. Your teammates can still. Please recall me. Got it. Help! I need Please recall me.
Yep, بالله. يبقى أنا الزاور بالله. سكرافت يا ناس.
How are things, everybody? You know, there are many strategies and tactics you can play to help survive longer in PUBG, but many of them require skills and experience with the game. So for newcomers, today I'm going to give you a nice trick that will help a lot when you enter the game, and when you are nervous to face opponents upon a landing. The usual way in PUBG is land, loot, go, and loot more, but in this video what I'm trying is something different. First land at somewhere safe, try to find a vehicle, get on and get away. Find a loot spot far from the flight route, and then start to loot. What's good about this is that you can loot everything in that spot without worrying about time or enemy. The only thing that may bother you is you will soon be out of the circle, but that is not the end of the world, because the early circles are not very powerful and you will have many boosters by then, plus you have a vehicle, so you can just boost up and get away. After you get in, stay as low as you can. Do not engage unless you have to. Be a camper if you want. Find a bush or a rock as you like. At late game, your gear will be far ahead of the others, so you can use them well and you stand a chance for the chicken dinner, even if you are new to the game. Alright everyone, you know what to do. Why not give it a try? I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Using multiple fingers can help improve your level of play. The most basic finger layouts only use 2 or 3 fingers. Using 2 fingers is simple and intuitive, and is great for new players. It also keeps the screen from getting too cluttered. Let's start with the default settings. 2-finger layouts are good for hip firing, peeking over cover, aiming down sights, and other basic maneuvers. But more advanced play like moving, shooting, or aiming down sights all at the same time requires greater control that's hard to achieve with 2 fingers. 3 fingers gives more flexibility and can help with pulling off more complex maneuvers. It's much easier to execute moves like aiming down sights while moving, or getting prone while in the middle of shooting. To make the most of using 3 fingers, it's best to change the button layout. First, we can move the left firing button to the upper left corner. Now we can easily tap it with our left index finger to fire. The left thumb will still control movement. Next, let's move the left and right peek buttons and aim down sight button to the right, next to the right side firing button. Use the right thumb to aim down sights, peek, jump, crawl, and control the view. With some practice, not only will you be able to move, shoot, and aim down sights at the same time, but you'll also be able to pull off complex moves like moving and peeking, jumping and shooting, and more. The possibilities for control have gone up a ton. Next, we'll practice controlling recoil. Every firearm produces recoil when it's fired. If the fire button is held down on a fully automatic weapon, the crosshair will continue to shift upward. Practicing how to control the recoil will help improve our accuracy and win tough firefights. When using 2 fingers and holding down the fire button, keep lowering your aim to compensate for the recoil. When using 3 fingers, we recommend going to Settings and setting Scope Mode to Mixed. Use the left index finger to fire, and at the same time, use the right thumb to aim down sights while continuously dragging down on the screen to compensate for recoil. You'll be able to quickly aim down sights while controlling the recoil effectively. Setting a comfortable sensitivity also helps with recoil control. For third-person mode, while not aiming down sights, we recommend a sensitivity of 110% to 130%. When firing in close quarters, slowly drag the crosshair downward. This can massively improve your shooting accuracy. Also, when aiming with the basic sight, red dot sight, or holographic sight, we recommend setting sensitivity to 55% to 60%. It will be much easier to control the recoil in close quarters combat when using these sights. When fighting enemies at mid-distance, it's best to use a 3x or 4x scope. It's best to set sensitivity to somewhere between 20% to 25%. For enemies far in the distance, we regularly use a 6x or 8x scope. For these attachments, it's recommended to set sensitivity to 15% or less. Get used to using multiple fingers to play the game and improve your recoil control. These are key to granting an edge in battle and will help you get that final chicken dinner. Using multiple fingers can help. There are numerous ways to enhance our efficiency in the game. Drag the joystick upwards and hold it in place before releasing. That way, you'll keep sprinting by yourself. You can also tap the small sprint button near the minimap to directly enter sprint mode. Automatically sprinting comes in handy when traveling long distances. It also frees your hands to do something else. While sprinting, we can change the view with the small eye icon. Drag the icon to change the view without moving your character. Use this feature while sprinting to observe your surroundings without changing directions. When team communication is required, you can tap the chat button and select from a few preset voice messages. For example, when you encounter enemies, you can tap Enemies Ahead to warn your teammates to prepare for battle. When traveling or heading to the play zone, you can send a message to Form Up on Me and indicate a point to assemble with your teammates. In addition, you can also swipe the chat button to bring up the quick voice wheel and select a voice message from there. It will be sent as soon as you release your finger. That way, you can relay information to your teammates accurately, enhance teamwork, and seize the initiative during battle. Not only that, but we can also select the button at the bottom to activate the voice-to-text feature. Once activated, all you need to do is speak into the microphone, and the default language will be set automatically before sending the message to your teammates. This reduces the amount of time spent on typing and greatly improves team communication. Besides that, we can also tap and hold items in the pickup list or loot crates to share the location and information with teammates. That way, any teammate that needs one of the marked items can know exactly where to pick them up. Lastly, we can go to Settings, then Controls, then Advanced Controls to enable the Universal Mark. When you want to mark any location or supply, tap the Universal Mark to mark and share the directions and distance of whatever your crosshair is pointed at with your teammates. Upon encountering enemies, we can use the Universal Mark to mark the area as a dangerous region and warn your teammates. Furthermore, swiping the Universal Mark also brings up the quick chat reel, allowing you to relay more commands to your teammates. For easier communication, use these features during the battle to enhance communication and efficiency in order to secure that chicken dinner. There are numerous
Game settings. In the game, there are a few settings that can take our skills to a higher level. This video will introduce in-game setting combinations to help everyone understand the basic types of settings in the game. Basic settings. In the basic control settings, peek mode, peek and open scope, camera rotation while leaning, quick scope switch, etc. are usually good to enable. The advanced controls are more detailed. We can set them based on preference. Among the advanced controls, Universal Mark should certainly be enabled. This way, during matches, you'll be able to mark enemies, supplies, vehicles, and more. The rest of the settings are designed to enhance the gaming experience, such as Show Throwable Trajectory Line, which, when enabled, provides a trajectory line to help aim before throwing. Enabling aim assist can reduce deviation in your accuracy, helping you aim better. Additionally, turning on auto mark hit locations allows you to obtain useful battle information when landing your shots, helping you to better judge the battle situation. If your device supports the gyroscope, we recommend enabling it to help provide a more immersive gaming experience. New players can enable auto jump, which calculates the shortest route to your marked location at the beginning of the match and helps you automatically jump to it. Graphics and audio. Setting the graphics to smooth and setting the frame rate to high or ultra allows us to enjoy the game running more smoothly. To avoid lag caused by device overheating, it's recommended to adjust the game's graphics quality to suit your device. Sensitivity. Sensitivity should be adjusted according to the device and how it feels for you. If the camera sensitivity or free look is set too high, it's easy to get dizzy, which does not help with identifying the enemy's position. Just set it around 80%. You can set camera or parachuting sensitivity a little higher to better observe your surroundings while parachuting. ADS sensitivity is key to controlling the crosshair and following teammates. If you want to set a more accurate sensitivity, you'll need to go to the training grounds and use the crosshair to follow a moving target while adjusting the sensitivity by increments of 5. Of course, you can also just copy someone else's sensitivity settings. Pickup. When you enable auto pickup, just set an upper limit for picked up supplies and you'll be able to pick up supplies more quickly. Customize buttons. Tap Customize on the layout to freely rearrange the button placement as you like. Your customized button layout can be uploaded to the cloud so that even if you switch devices, you'll be able to import it directly. Once your skill improves, you can try using 3-finger or 4-finger layouts. 3 or 4-finger layouts allow for more flexibility and better maneuvering. Optimizing settings allows for a better game experience. Go have a look at which of your game settings could use some adjusting. Game setting. In this video, we'll be introducing the maps of PUBG Mobile. Each map in the game has its own unique features. Erangel is the most classic map of the game. It's 8 by 8 kilometers and all 4 sides are surrounded by the ocean. The main landmass is expansive and has varied topography. The battle pace on this map is fairly mild, which makes it a great first map for new players to get to grips with the game. Miramar is made up of vast deserts and rugged terrain. Resources are sparse, leading to a mellow battle pace. Vehicles are extremely important on this 8 by 8 kilometer map. A moment's carelessness can lead to getting picked off. Vikendi is based on the polar region, with ice and snow as its backdrop. Players and vehicles leave footprints and tracks on its surface, exposing their paths. This 6 by 6 kilometer map strikes a balance between admiring beautiful scenery and intense battles. This map is also home to special vehicles like the snowmobile, which let us plow through the snow. Sandhawk is a map based on the tropics. The 4 by 4 kilometer map has a fairly brisk battle pace. In rainy weather, battles become more complex. Livik is a map that's only 2 by 2 kilometers large. It combines elements of Erangel, Miramar, Sandhawk, and Vikendi. If you battle in the snowy region, try heading to the hot spring to recover some health. Karakin is also a 2 by 2 kilometer map, but is different from Livik, as it's mostly made up of desert, meaning hardly any cover. It also has a unique terrain destruction mechanic. Some houses and tunnels can be blown up with sticky bombs. When in the red zone, hiding in a house won't be safe either. You'll have to head to a shelter. Nusa is currently the smallest map in the game. At just 1 by 1 kilometer, it leads to some extremely intense battles. If you just want a quick match in your spare time, this map is second to none. Learning how to observe a map is an important aspect of the game. Larger urban areas tend to have better supplies, and in greater quantities. Players that love battles are often drawn to them, so new players need to be prudent in their choices. Medium-sized urban areas have decent supplies that are more scattered, but are safer as a result, and can be looted quite freely, though the odd battle might still break out. There are also lots of smaller buildings scattered about the map, though they aren't well supplied. They tend to be very safe. All in all, you can go by the size of urban areas on the map to determine what kind of gear and supplies you want to get, and how likely you are to get into battles. Once you understand the map, you'll be able to make the best choices that suit your playstyle.
Getting chicken dinner is only a step away. Once you've made it to the final circle, learn about these 4 tips to boost your chances of getting chicken dinner. The final circle can broadly be split into 2 types, urban and rural. The final circle is much more likely to end up in a rural area, but whatever the final circle ends up being, there is one thing they all share in common. That is, that higher ground has an advantage. Thus, we recommend players to occupy the highest points within the play zone ahead of time. But if the high ground has already been occupied by enemy players, then we recommend taking cover with boulders and trees. Unable to find suitable cover and get discovered by an enemy, you can hide behind a vehicle and use it as makeshift cover. It's important to know that crouching behind a wheel is the safest spot of a vehicle. Other parts of vehicles may leave you exposed if an enemy can shoot at you through the gap underneath when they lay prone. It's even more complex when the final circle is in an urban area. There may be many buildings packed closely together, which gives players a lot of places to hide and take cover. It's best to take cover on a higher floor of a building. If enemies have already occupied the higher floors, you can still find other lower buildings or houses to take refuge. Also, when there's a lot of cover, the chances of running into an ambush are much higher. In this kind of environment, multiple teams might even be hiding in the same building. Thus, before players choose a place to take cover, they should look at the map and evaluate the situation before coming to a decision. Find a place with few enemies to hide in. In urban areas, enemies can easily hide on the upper floors of buildings. Thus, you should closely observe the windows for a higher chance of finding an enemy. In rural areas like mountains, the highest places are where enemies are most likely to be. Following that would be near boulders and trees. It's important to be careful around bushes and tall grass. Players with ghillie suits love hiding in there. The best time to enter the final circle is to be the first or last to do so. The advantage of entering the final circle right away is that you get first pick on taking a position, but a lot of players are often thinking the same thing, so it's easy to get tangled in battle. So rushing to be first to the final circle is more suitable when it's at a rural area. Use a vehicle to quickly move to the next play zone while others are still fighting. Then lie in wait. Entering last means moving with the blue zone as it closes in to enter the final circle. With this kind of strategy, you'll be able to avoid a lot of unnecessary engagements, and it's quite safe. On the flip side, it's also easier to get ambushed by those lying in wait. This kind of strategy is better suited for urban areas. When the blue zone closes in, stay near the edge and move with it. This is a good way to avoid ambushes. Knowing when to heal is key to survival. During combat, when enemies are far away and you have access to cover, healing is not a bad move. But if enemies are closer, then it's best to create some distance and find cover first. Or you can directly return fire to make them back off. Then, heal when it's safe. Your choice of healing item also makes a big difference. The pace of battle in the final circle is very quick, so bandages and energy drinks are good choices as they don't take much time to use. The trade-off is that they only heal a smaller amount each time. Lastly, it's best to maintain a good amount of energy in the final circle. On the one hand, it lets players run faster. The other is that when you take damage, you'll automatically start recovering some health over time. This greatly increases your survival rate.
Advanced tips. In this last video of the series, we'll be going over some tips that can enhance your gaming experience and help you achieve victory more easily. Knowing which weapons and attachments to use together is very helpful knowledge. We can choose weapons based on the map's theme or size. For small maps, we can opt for an assault rifle and submachine gun, or pair an assault rifle with a shotgun. For large maps, we can pair an assault rifle with a bolt-action sniper rifle or designated marksman rifle. The flow of a match is unpredictable, so you can use different weapons depending on your strategy. What's harder than deciding on a weapon and attachment combo is finding people by listening. Combining audio settings with the sound display on the minimap helps players with inaccurate aim or those who don't often observe the minimap. Furthermore, players can also determine the location of enemies with the gunshot icons on the minimap. When a gunshot icon appears on the minimap, quickly look in its direction at chest to head height, and search for enemy traces within 200 meters in this direction. The gunshot sound of weapons equipped with a suppressor will also show, and change depending on the distance of the shot. When judging an enemy's location through the icon, check the middle and bottom of the icon. When a vehicle passes by, an audio icon shaped like a wheel will appear on the minimap. We can judge the vehicle's distance based on the noise it makes. Sounds and icons for various vehicles appear at different distances. If a footstep icon appears on the minimap, it means that an enemy is near. When moving on different ground surfaces, the types of sound emitted will vary. However, keep in mind that when an enemy is moving on a different floor to yourself, the sound emitted also changes. It'll be duller than the sound emitted as if you were on the same floor as them. Mastering these tips will enhance your gaming experience. Let's put them into practice now. Advanced tips. In this last video of the series,
Broken